The basis of archaeology are objects buried in the ground. Part of the job of digging them up is to preserve evidence that surrounds these objects. So when you come into RAMM and see all these amazing objects on display, they are actually only a small proportion of what a museum like RAMM has in its collection. I'm Tom Cadbury, I'm one of RAMM's assistant curators, and my area of responsibility is the archaeology collections. As a curator, I have the great job of trying to pick up all these amazing pieces from RAMM's archaeology collection. Maybe it is something from a professional archaeological dig. Maybe it's something that someone has dug up in their allotment. You know, all these things are in the collection, and I have the great job of trying to piece them together to tell a story about people's lives in the past. The digging up of the objects is just one part of the process. From then, archaeological experts will look at the objects, they'll study them, piece together pieces of evidence, and really it's that evidence is trying to tell the best story we can about those objects. It's always going to be a partial picture because we're only finding part of a community's life. A wonderful recent example of this is the Durham Hoard. Andy Wareham and David Scott in December 2017 in a field near Dawlish. They were working with their metal detectorists and they found a series of burials of gold bracelets, bronze weapons, and bits of bronze ingot. And these things were all buried deliberately together. But what is uncommon is finding ingots and broken tools with gold bracelets. As far as I know, this is the only example in Britain. So out of all these objects, this is the mystery. It's made out of gold, it's thin gold sheet covered with these embossed decorations, lines and circles, and yet it's been scrunched up in a way. It's almost like just a fragment of Coke can that's been scrunched up in the earth, but it's not, it's gold. It's astonishing. Imagine a bowler hat with an enormous conical shaped top to it. This decorated gold hat from Germany. That's what we might have here, a tiny fragment of something as remarkable and showy as that. The raw materials of an archaeology display are not very exciting to look at sometimes. Part of my job is to understand what these objects originally were, how they were put into the ground, and try to work out what that means for the purpose. What were the people 3,500 years ago doing at this time? My first job in a museum was when I was at school, and I volunteered in the local museum helping redo a display. It was eye-opening to me. I was allowed to touch these amazing objects. Archaeology isn't all about gold, shiny objects from the past, and one case I'm thinking of is the turkey bones from Exeter. These are 3 little bones that were dug up in 1982. No one realised how significant they were for 40 years. And then a university researcher was looking through our animal bone collections. She came upon the 3 bones and said, these look remarkably like turkey bones. These bones come from one of 6 turkeys that came to Britain. The very first turkeys that came to Britain came to Bristol. One of them must have come down the road to Exeter, and at which point that poor turkey was eaten. So this is the earliest evidence for a turkey dinner in Britain. As a curator, I may be, just part of that jigsaw of going from objects in the past to people in the present. That's kind of what excites me about archaeology. That's what really excites me about working in a museum like RAMM. Some amazing things have happened in Devon, and it's all there in the archaeology.